Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at what was created when we created our LibGDX project and imported it into IntelliJ IDE. So go ahead and open up your project if you'd like, and you can follow along with me. Pause the video, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at the project directory. Inside of IntelliJ, the project directory, or the folders that we imported and were created, are on the left-hand side. So let's first click on Test. Under Test, I'd like you to focus on two folders, Core and Desktop. Let's start off with Desktop. When you click on Desktop, go down to SRC, Source Main, and COM Test Desktop, and you click on Desktop Launcher. You'll notice it has public class Desktop Launcher. The launcher does exactly what it says. It launches the game. But what I'd like you to focus on here is that it says public static void main. So this is actually where the program starts, the very first place. And we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time inside the desktop launcher. I just wanted to show you this in case you were wondering, hey, where's the main method? Where's the main class? What it does is it creates a application configuration, and inside the application it creates a new test game. So it's going to create a new instance of something called test game. Let's take a look at that right now. Under Core, so let's expand Core, under SRC main, com.test, and test game. Go ahead and open up that. Let's see what's inside the test game. Now some of this should look a little bit familiar. You'll notice it says all these import statements at the top, and all we're doing is we're importing classes from the LibGDX library. So that's exactly like what we did when we imported the scanner class and then created an instance of the scanner. So come on down a little bit further and you'll notice it says Sprite Batch. So Sprite Batch is a class, you can tell because it's a class that we imported, and it's double caps, so camel case. And batch is just reserving the name for Sprite Batch. So remember when we said scanner and then we gave our scanner a name? And then we said equals to new scanner. Well, they kind of split that up inside the program. They say Sprite Batch, batch, come down here, public void create, batch equals new Sprite Batch. So this is just like scanner, gave the scanner a name, equals new scanner system in. So we're just creating an instance of the Sprite Batch class. Now what is the Sprite Batch class? For our purposes, you can think of it as just something that draws the images on the screen. Now we're going to come down to the texture class, and in the texture class it says IMG. So IMG is the name for a texture. For our purposes, you can think of textures as just images, and it creates a new texture, and the texture is called badlogic.jpg. That's just an image file, and we're going to be taking a look at the image file a little bit more next video. Now come on down to where it says void render. Under public void render, it has GDXGL clear color, and that sets the background color. Notice red is the only one that has any values, so it's going to be setting the background color to red. Then it clears the screen and it gets ready to draw. So remember, Batch is responsible for drawing the images on the screen. It says, hey, we're going to get ready to start doing some drawing. Then it says batch.draw. So Batch, we want you to draw what? We want you to draw IMG. Now if you remember, IMG is badlogic.jpg, so it's just an image. You're going to draw this image at the screen, on the screen, and you're going to draw it at these coordinates right here. Again, we'll take a look at this next class. And then it says batch.end, so we're done drawing, and this public void render loops over and over and over and over again. So if you've ever played games before, you might have been setting your FPS, frames per second. This is going to loop over and over again, 30, 60, 90 frames per second. So it's going to be looping fairly quickly, and we have a way to control how fast it renders. We'll be taking a look at that in a much future video. So down here we have public void dispose. Under dispose, it's going to dispose of the image, and it's going, or the drawer batch, and it's going to dispose of the image. So that's just kind of like the cleanup for the program. The majority of the time we're going to spend next video is going to be under public void render, and a little bit of time under the create. That's pretty much it for this video. To summarize, just wanted you to know what was created in general, that under the desktop and source main, desktop launcher, that's where the game starts. It launches the game. And what does it do? It creates a new test game. Under test game, when it creates the new test game, it automatically creates our sprite batch and our texture. Sprite batches allow us to draw on the screen. Images are just textures, and we can give them names, so we can actually upload images to be drawn on the screen. And then it clears the screen, or rather sets the background color, clears the screen, gets ready to draw, ends draw, and then disposes of the images. So again, that's it for this video. Next video we'll take a look at moving images around on the screen a little bit and changing the background color and maybe even changing the image itself. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to catching you next video.